Have you guys noticed that there's like an open range a lot of times? And then like it'll break outside the open range and really get going?
Yeah.
Alright, so that thing's coming down there pretty good. Where are my 60-minute levels at? Man, this thing's been hit a lot, huh? Alright, so here we are at the Globex Slow. And we're at open. Kind of an interesting area here to retest. Let's see what happens if this thing comes back up here a little bit. There it is. Okay, so now we're hitting those moving averages. Let's see if we can get a little resistance in here. Maybe off of that, this high right up here. And wherever I have like the previous bottom daily zone or something like that. I guess that's what that would be. Let's see if there's a little retracement back to this area consolidation. Okay, yesterday's yesterday's gap. No, not exactly. Yesterday's close. Let's try that. Looking at this off the 15-minute chart, what do I have here? Okay, so this is the big daily zone that we've been in. Seems like we haven't gotten out of this daily zone. And we're coming right back down. So not only did we just barely touch that thing, but we just like kissed it and boom, right back down again. Well, let's see if it goes lower now. Because I would say the anything in the trend following area right here, which is what I would want to be taking, is kind of out of the picture now because it's gone at least 2 to 3 ticks lower than this previous lows here and all this consolidation. So here's your 5-minute opening range. Okay.
Hey, what's that? Oh,
Hey,
sorry.
John. How's it going?
Good. You get that long?
Yeah, I did.
Nice to meet you.
Still not sure how it's going to work out here.
Yeah. I was hoping that it wasn't gonna go below 101.67.
I know, right?
It's just, it's like, all right, just consolidate a little bit. Let's just take it easy.
Yeah, I was looking at yesterday's close. Maybe we get like thrust up through there and then a retest of yesterday's close, or maybe the 60-minute level, but now it's underneath that and consolidating, which kind of makes me think we're going to push lower.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the push yesterday was, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, we could be in a range day today, but, the sad thing is we're like back down here at the bottom of this zone again.
I know. And now it looks like instead of, the broad range being from 102 to, 102 to, whatchamacallit, it's, or like 102 to 108, now it looks like it's like 104 to, 100, and that just looks like, a consolidation area that is going to lead to a spike that's going to go down through the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Concur.
And there it is. Alright.
See if this is really violent double bottom.
Mm-hmm. Are you serious? Was that? Okay. So this is the time that I love to like merge these little zones here. Oh, I have too many epoch time MTFs on there. But that was totally the zone like where I drew my rectangle. Should have been down just a couple ticks. was totally bounced there. Yeah, you're low. I was just talking to Craig before you came in about, a lot of times it feels like there's a 5 or 10 minute opening range, Once you, close outside of it, then it, continues on in that direction for some time. Alright, so we did just engulf on this previous candle, but we didn't close above it, so I'm still thinking that it may continue to the downside, and this little green candle is like a little retracement type of thing. But we'll see. Okay, so now you have a new high. That's kind of interesting. If this red candle fails to break the low, then you have definitely something to be like, hey, we know that it looks like it's respecting the Globex low again, as well as that zone down there. It's a nice hammer looking candle. So definitely an area of interest here, Globex low, zone, real close to the open, all that kind of stuff. Good morning, Steve.
Morning, Gabe.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. How about yourself?
I cannot complain. So, just watching the markets,
Doing that and going through some videos.
Good deal. Okay, have some inside bars here coming into our first 15-minute section. So, because these things are getting pretty tight, I'm thinking that it's either not going to exceed this high. That's what I'm kind of thinking that it's not going to do. And we're going to go down further. But anything's possible here. The retest of that high is really important right now. Of just this previous bar right over here. Plus this is a pretty bearish candle, so that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we got it. And no longer thinking retracement and continuing down, but now let's go retest this high again. Interesting, huh?
Yeah. No, I'm glad it pushed up there. Where am I going to go? I'll go 67. 67. Yeah, respect to the 15-minute RTH zone.
Right, so remember that this high that we just formed here on crude, I feel like these zones could be merged. Fortunately, I have some MTF, so I don't have that option available on here.
Yeah.
But because it did draw a new zone down here, I think this may be a little bit of resistance, as well as look at where that 5-minute moving average is. And I know there's a ton of crude oil traders that are going to see that thing and be thinking, you know, possible like beginning of the of like a trend line down type of deal, wherever that intersects.
Yeah, you could draw a broad kind of. Yeah, you could do it that way.
Oh, were you thinking up here?
Yeah, almost just going from Globex kind of high, and it's kind of like looks like a broad downward channel. Yeah, it works perfect. But yeah, that tested the first 5-minute.
Kind of like that.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. It's harder to do it on a 1 minute because like you gotta scrunch your chart up so much. 'Cause there's so many candles.
Is my mic on?
1 pump, 2 pump. That looks like it's, may have just been a little two-legged pullback.
Mike? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
You do? Okay. I just want to see what... I can't hear anything from the webinar.
Huh.
Who has the open mic?
Bruce does. I just muted him. So, I don't know. He's apparently not able to hear us.
Oh, wow. Look at you, AQ. So where are we going? I guess we're going back up to 3,200, huh? Alright. I gotta find some decent spots. There we go. Be very surprised if it produces a good push back up from here.
Yeah, me too.
It just seems like, I don't know, I guess it wants to go deeper. Again, like 240, there's been like just this, it's a brown zone now from 100.40 to 101.20 something.
Okay, so we just double bottom down on that.
Yeah.
Let's see if it sticks. This does happen quite a bit. Like you see where that 60-minute zone is? Let me take off all this other junk here. You see where the 60-minute zone is? Like, notice how it acted as support, obviously, but then it acted as resistance on the retest during our 15-minute retest period. So, I thought that was kind of interesting.
I just want it deeper.
And I'm sure there's a 150 tick zone right there too. Yeah. I thought it might actually be formed off of this little basing period there.
If this is another lower low double bottom, then I would guess if it eventually went up, it would have to be a super strong move. But I don't know. You know, I never know what anything's gonna do. I'm just, I'd be surprised. Well, let's look at it this way. If it's gonna be a significant reversal, you want like 3 pushes. So you look at like the overnight down leg. That's 1 push. That initial down wave that happened from the top of the hour. Once it got tested the 5-minute moving average for the first time, it's the second. And then this would be the third. And so it's still holding within the confines of yesterday's low, right? I think yesterday, no, it went a little lower than that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a brand 60-minute.
And like looking at that daily, like we know that the bottom of the daily is just like right down there, you know. So and it can so easily break. Yeah, we could also have a very range day. And I'm going to redraw this trend line just
yeah. It's all right. Yeah.
Just in case.
Up from this morning, sure. It's able to keep this up.
Because if it breaks this trend line with some conviction, you know, like it could go up. We just had, you know, a new low, a failure to break the low, and boom, you know. And that doji also meant some exhaustion in there too, but the red candle failing to break the low.
Yep, lots of trading range. Symbols suggesting exhaustion.
But on the 15-minute chart, which we really have to keep that in perspective, right?
Yeah,
we don't want to get sucked into the smaller time frame.
It's not really. I mean, obviously, it's looks like we're within the context of this range is going on from like 101.90 to 101 essentially, and I mean, two big trading range candles so far. The first one was a really big one, really big doji, and then this next one could be a hammer, and it's showing some wick. Although, yeah, I think, I don't know, we would have to see how it travels up into that level, but a short up by Globex high after entering 102, getting above there, I think that would be a pretty good short.
Okay, so check this out. NQ.
I know,
Wow.
I know. And now you gotta respect the gap up, and now you probably, I don't know, we'll see. It could very easily could be getting ready to fill all that microchannel to the upside right at the open here, because that was once it hit through 31.71. I remember that from a couple days ago. Like 31.74 was like a top of this range that it had, and then it ended up producing a lower low. But anyway, it's had like, kind of looks like a bear spot. It's not a really super steep one, but I could see if this just being like a little flag here, and then we might get an initial push down towards the 3160s, 3161. But I don't know. I think that still might be a good spot to get long. If it pushes through that, yeah.
It's way up here,
Yeah. And you got to respect that, and it, yeah.
I don't know, I kind of feel like it's going to do a gap and go,
Yeah.
But we'll see what the retest of this high is up there.
I'm going to let crude just play around on the smaller range for a little bit.
Yeah. It is definitely, like, price has spent a lot of time here. However, the only thing is that it broke the trend line, and obviously we're coming up to the, so it could spike to the upside again.
And that's okay, because I think the, a short around 102 will be able to produce like a T2 hit easy too, because I think that might be like part of the broader range that may be going down right now on like the 15-minute chart. So we've hit 3 bear bars on NQ. So I think what happened is it might, I don't know, we'll see. I could see it like shooting down to like 3162, which was a former supply zone, and right around that area, that's where 15-minute moving averages, the 5-minute moving averages. Let's see if there's any ETFs. But I could just see a gap and going too, so that's why I wanted to see if it holds this. That's a strong candle. How many legs on the pullback do we have? 1, 2.
Depends on how this This candle
Yeah.
closes,
Yeah,
but
this candle closes, but it could be 2. That could have just been the second one. No, it's gonna wiki.
yeah.
Wiki.
I think maybe we didn't actually outline this very much, but what we're looking for is the retest of like the lows down here, and also like the high right here. You know, because obviously we're in somewhat of a range right now, consolidating, but we're really waiting for the retest of the high to like push higher. But if it breaks below these lows and below this like zone area, then like it could do like a gap fill potentially, you know. But this is just a little bit of resistance right there, you know. And by that big, we have a doji exhaustion, big green bar, which engulfs, you know, the red bar over here, which is technically a 2-bar engulf. And, you know, we could see a retest of this high pretty easily, which we got pretty close, but, you know, I would like to see it break that high right there. And it probably won't do it until the open, you know. There you go. Okay. There's a break of the high. So I'd say it's a gap and go. Maybe looking to retest yesterday's close, or 2 days ago close. Zones up there and whatnot. $60-minute demand is up there. First signs of real resistance we have a ways. Technically speaking, and John, I don't know if you actually took this or not, but we were talking about this, and I totally didn't take it. You know? see what happens here on the first 15 minutes. Actually, it doesn't look like app of time is on here. Alright, so there's the new high. Fortunately, in things like this, there really isn't a good area to jump on board as of yet. Well, that's kind of interesting there. The top half of that red candle formed a 150 tick zone, resistance zone, and the bottom of it formed 150 tick support zone.
Yeah, we just now be starting a real strong upward channel on MQ here. There's nothing really to hold it on to like 3,200. Because when it consolidated, not this this past little pullback down, but when right after the bull spike at the open, and then you get all those overlap, that's like right at R2, and then yeah, once it like breaks that, I mean, you don't have anything for a while.
Yep. So it did a good job of reloading in that consolidation area. So I'd definitely say that we were right on our analysis. John, were you able to actually jump in on?
I was.
On the bottom there, or just now a little bit ago?
No, I got in after the two big spike. I got in at 3177.25.
Nice.
Did I hit something? Did I hit? Oh, crude. Nice. Yeah, I was going to mention that to you. That looks like that just did leg 2 on the
upward push
little trading range channel before. Yeah, we should have a pretty powerful push up here now. Because that 15-minute was, is telling me that there's strong buying pressure. Like I know that, there's going to be sellers up at 102. There's going to be selling pressure there. It's going to be a hard area to get through. You got pivot point right at 102.03, Globex high, fresh MTFs, and just, kind of looks like it'd be the top of like a trading range channel on the 15-minute that, would happen after having such a powerful downward spike like we did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got in on NQ on that real overlap, and then once I saw it get over, I waited several candles, and then once I saw the push above 377, I hit it because I was like, R2's not holding anymore. And then an easy T1, and hopefully this thing just continues to channel up. But the better spot would have been right down on, like right at Globex. I mean, and that was a great spot to do it, too. Not Globex, Pit Open, at Basin.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about it,
Yeah, we were talking about it. I guess part of me gets like, so I get nervous on like the instant Pit Open.
Mm-hmm. And possibly spike, and it may have come down a couple ticks, to break the low, and then like, and off you go.
31.67. Yeah, it could have like just broken that range just by a little, ran people stops, and then. Because I just didn't know if that was, the second leg of the pullback or not.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I was comfortable getting long after I see that spike, and if that R2 was going to be resistance, or at least like produce like a down leg for, maybe a not as strong as an upward channel, it wouldn't have overlapped for 6 candles like it did, but it did overlap like that. So.
Right.
And I just figured out. If everybody's in the long run, I guess I should too, right? Everybody's doing it.
Just follow the crowd, man. Just follow the crowd. Yeah. Trading's super easy. Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing
it.
Yeah.
I just don't see any major resistance,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna have to open up my the charts quite a bit here to see something.
I mean, there isn't. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, you got it. It gapped up pretty much into the downward microchannel that was going on yesterday, and so the gap up is telling you that, there's a lot of buying pressure, and also it was the first like significant higher high on the 15-minute, and yeah, there's just I don't see anything. I'm looking at the TF too, and coming in this top of the hour, I'd be looking for it. It's coming back towards Globex high. This looks like the second down push, so it could be 2-leg pullback, And yeah, perfect time to get long. I mean, the only thing that's going to tell us otherwise is, I mean, we're going to have to see like a significant reversal candle on the 15-minute. And I still wouldn't necessarily even be convinced if that like engulfed a little bit of the day session low. Because that happens a lot of times on gap and goes, like, because you have the really big gap, and then you'll have like several 15-minute candles that just kind of like overlap, and one of those may, you know, in this case, if it was a big massive gap up, slightly push below, you know, the opening candle, you know, making a lower low, but still really confined within the range, and really just, you know, like a little corrective flag once you get down to it, and then yeah, shoot up to the upside.
Well, we've already had one retest of the consolidation at like 6:40 at Pacific time.
Yeah.
One retest of that area, and then 6:45, which technically is usually a retracement time. Looks like that began a well, that put in a new high, and you know, I'm waiting to see the retest of that high. But you know, how far down are we going to go before we retest that high? It's a good question.
And then it's a matter of, I guess I kind of like want your opinion on this from where the high was just made. You see that red engulfing bar, and then you see the other bear bar, and then you see that green bar, okay? And then you see another down leg. Was like that, those first two bear bars, would you say that that was like push, pull back, push down one, and then the green candle was the bump up, and now we're seeing pull back, leg number two? Or would you look at this all as, you know, pullback leg number one, which is sometimes all you get when the trend's really strong?
Well, technically, this green bar is a retest of the high. Technically.
Yeah. Yep.
Obviously, it wasn't a very strong pullback, but technically it was. So that's what I'm looking at.
I mean, yeah. And really strong. I mean, yeah, really strong trends. You don't get very strong pullbacks, and that's why, you know, what you said, paying attention to the retest of this high is what you're looking at.
Okay, so here's the first retest of the high here in my book. And now we're making a new high. And there we go.
Yep. Daddy like.
And this is also, well, just because this is kind of already come and gone, I'm going to take you through a little bit of this kind of thing here. But there's a reason why, like, I like to use the opens as my my points of entry. And on this type of thing, if I saw, like, well, you guys heard me mention, like, this consolidation right here, right? So you use the open of that red candle, and you get a good solid one candle engulf there, and then obviously the second one makes a new high, which that was a really great place to enter. But look at the retest of this thing. Okay, the retest of basically you took heat, and so people that may have gotten long here and maybe break even a +1 or 2 just got stopped out and missed this huge wick of a candle. All right, but this is a really, really big wick on that on a 1 minute candle, so something may be happening there too, because it's too big a wick to ignore.
Gabe,
Yeah.
I don't know how the flip-flop zones that you mentioned. If you go to the 60 or 90 minute on the NQ, you could see it's hitting one of those flip-flop zones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And on the YM, it's hitting one of my 90-minute zones too. Up there, it's coming in. There's a gap up there. Well, the gap is a little bit higher still, but it's in that zone.
That's interesting.
That's where it's holding on right there. It might break. I mean, it has a lot of force in there. It might go through it, but that's where it's holding.
Right. Oh, thanks for letting me know that.
Well, I'm learning it here with you.
The flip-flop can be very powerful. I usually like to see pivots right around in that area, but I don't see any pivots. Don't forget to look at our 15-minute candles. There's a pretty powerful candle right there. So this 15-minute candle, if it doesn't get up there, maybe, quite a bit smaller. So maybe we're blowing off a little bit of steam from that first 15-minute push. So watch how big these candles are is always a good thing to do. Okay, so we just had a retest of that high there, and then an engulf of a green bar. So this may be forming a nice top up here. So that's a pretty strong red bar right there. I don't have any trend lines to share with you guys right now. Maybe a really long-term trend line from the Globex. Okay, so I'm just thinking here, if we had one failure to break the high, it's something, you know, it's noteworthy. But always be aware, like, this thing could double pump up here. NQ is notorious for double pumping, so right when you think you found a high or something like that, it can double pump you, just that easy. So you really need to make sure that you're taking this at a good solid level. And like Jose was saying, like, it's an inverse of a 60-minute level right here. So I really don't mind waiting to see like 2 failures to break the high. Okay, something here that's interesting on CL right now is we are at the right time of day at news time, right? And CL is retesting that trend line that we were looking at before, that we drew from the highs of the Globex. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing being broken, but time of day, trend line, support and resistance, turn on our zones. We can see that we're inside of this little zone here. Now notice that this is now yellow. Okay, so it does mean that it's getting weaker. And we'll see how this trend line responds here. Alright, I would classify this as chop. For sure here on CL. Or on NQ, sorry. Shell, are you doing anything?
Yeah, I'm watching candles go up and down.
Nice.
I'm waiting for the top.
Yeah. I'm hoping there isn't a top for a while.
Why did you get long?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where'd you get long at?
Well, as I was demonstrating everybody that resistance area, so, and I pretty much covered the position at right there. So
Nice.
I was looking at that long. So I got long off this candle. It's actually at 31.80, but you know.
Order filled.
No, it's way past that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Seal did what I thought it would do. And remember how we were talking about that weak zone? That zone is now gone. And it happened just after that time of day, you know?
Yep.
Hmm. Alright, so we've had 3 failures to break the high here. So I'm moving to a protective position just because that thing should have broke by now. And frankly, I just don't want to see it chop on my entry, you know? Yeah, I don't know if everybody's following this or not, but I consider this high a retest. This one right here, and this one right here. Notice we have engulfing bars on each one of those retests, engulfing bars to the south side, so. And on our 15-minute candle that, formed, our previous 15-minute candle, it was a smaller type of candle, which says, it's blowing off some steam here. And what if we had a retracement all the way back down here to that Globex level, That could happen before it goes up again. Or what if it just decides to continue down and do something like that? But right now I feel like, remember how we're talking about knowing who's getting trapped and where a few days ago? Well, right now I'm feeling like I'm the one being trapped, you know? So you got to realize like there's probably going to be some stops being hit here pretty soon, and you know, maybe a pretty aggressive bar before too long.
Order filled.
So apparently I'm not the only one that sees all those failures to break the high as something important. We have We have Mr. Israel taking the short play as well. Now I think I'm going to stop the recording for today here.